The goal of Light Up Navajo Nation is to light up as many people as we can in the time, and get as many people that, number one, get as many people involved in Light Up Navajo Nation.
APPA was contacted by the Navajo tribe to try to provide mutual aid. I feel like that's important that they work together by sending the information out to all the utilities, and the utilities work together to come out there and provide mutual aid for them to be able to get the lights on to as many people as we could that week.
We traveled like 150 miles from like one job to the next. A bunch of it was nothing but a dirt path that you're not even sure if they just took a machine and just made it that day.
There is one customer per 2 miles of power line out there. Is the power line length and customer density. So there's a lot of power line to be built to pick up one customer.
The hardships were that the weather changed so frequently. You know, you go from sunshine to you can see it so far out there, it's coming. And sure enough, it'll be snowing. And then that goes through whatever wave, and then it's like sunshiny again. And it snowed on us one time, I think 4 separate times. It just snowed, sun, snowed, just because of the waves coming through.
A lot of these people are very poor and they don't have the money to pay NTUA. That was one thing that this thing did, was allow, you know, us, the labor, GRDA, to support the labor and the cost of getting there. And then NTUA was just out the material.
People are really appreciative, especially, I mean, when they're really in need. You can see the people are genuine when they're very thankful for us to be able to provide mutual aid to them.
The last number that I seen, there was somewhere between 13 and 15,000 homes that have made application for power to NTUA.
The other story that I got is just a man and his wife. He was talking about the paperwork involved to even be a candidate to get power, and how many times he did it, and how many years he'd been doing it. And when it all totaled up, he'd been waiting 13 years to get electric. He gave up. He said, I even heard that there were some people coming, and I still gave up. And he was out of town working, and I forgot who he said called, but somebody called and said, hey, there's people here. And, you know, he rushed home, and you know, we was done and gone by the time he got there, but I mean, he had it.
I believe they said if they waited for the NTUA to be able to have enough manpower and time and money, it would take 30 years for them to get everybody electrified there on the Navajo Nation. Whereas with all these crews coming in, they felt like they would be able to do this in 10 years. And I know that they're talking about even changing that goal and possibly setting up where it's 2 times a year to go ahead and try to knock that down in half, maybe to 5 to 6 years.
I learned a couple of Navajo words. I learned yatahe for hello, and I learned oat for yes.
Antini means boss.
Yaktahe means good morning.
Yatahe, everybody learned Yatahe, means hello or good morning. But there is not a word in Navajo that means goodbye.
What would I do if I lived in a world without electricity?
I really don't know for a fact what I would do without electricity.
I don't know. There's none of us ever been there. I mean, and these people have lived it. You know, if you didn't know you didn't have it, you probably wouldn't miss it. But
I don't know how they live without electricity as long as they have out there.
Part of me thinks it would be interesting to kind of find out for, you know, like if you could just turn it off for like 3 months and just find out what you would do. You know, how would your routine change each day? You know, you can't wake yourself up with an alarm clock because you don't have electric. You can't sit around and watch TV because you don't have electric. So it would change, and I think it would be a learning experience to find out what it would be like without electric.
There's not very many people know this. When I lived with my grandparents as a kid, we had electricity, but it was lights only. We still cooked with wood and heated with coal. We got running water in 1973. The old terminology, you go to bed with the chickens and you get up with the chickens. It's what it's like. If you're accustomed to having these luxuries of life and they're gone, that's when you miss them.